Hello people, my name's Chris Dangerfield. Well, this is a cracking video, a couple of interesting clips here. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe and save me from my sinful existence. Massive thank you to the new subscribers. Incredible stuff. Look at me, Mum. I'm a success. So throughout the whole interview, Cuomo's kind of irrelevant. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description to the whole video, but while Tucker's free and open and he's got no overlords to which he has to pander, Cuomo is just like a ball of nerves because he's got a very slim ideological window within which he has to maintain everything he says, and because of that he's exceptionally strung out, looks terrified of his own ideas because he's having to remain on a deceptive level, which isn't a very relaxing place to be. It's very hard to engage in conversation and be normal and respond with honesty when your outlook is essentially deceptive. But regardless of that, it's what Tucker says that's really interesting. Check this out. Roll VT.
So there's no authority. He doesn't have democratic authority over
talking about Ukraine.
His country. What he has is a lot of NATO weapons. And to your second point, he has absolutely, as a matter of fact, the Ukrainian military has sold those weapons on the black market around the world. And they have...
I mean, in my own way, I've got a very slim window of ideology which I can talk for different reasons. I'm on the tube, so I can't agree with this. But let's just assume what Tucker's saying is correct. And we've seen this before. We saw it with the Mujahideen in the 70s, with NATO weapons sort of going AWOL and turning up 10, 15, 20 years later in other wars. And you know, if you're fighting a war, it's somewhere in Europe and NATO's giving, you know, we're not talking M16s and hand grenades here. Who's going to travel all the way out to war-torn Ukraine just to buy small munitions that you can get over the American border? If the Mexican cartels and the likes of Hamas are traveling there to buy weapons, I mean, some ballistic missiles, long-range ballistic missiles, who knows? But you know, you've got to speculate that this is likely not to turn out well for America. If these are going to end up on the southern border, which is where the Mexican drug cartels tend to have a fair amount invested, shall we say, you know, their market is the United States of America, their largest market for sure. This is an insane claim, and yet at the same time, is anyone surprised? That's almost the painful part of this. You know, when I saw it, I was shocked. I was shocked because Tucker Carlson, I mean, who is this man? Who are his friends? Who does he hang around with? I mean, admittedly, I did once spend the night in a villa in Sri Panwar in Patong, well, Phuket actually, with the daughter of an international arms dealer. Yeah, there's books written about him and all sorts. She was quite quick to prove it to me by Googling him and that. So the 6 degrees of separation are kind of there, but Tucker's just knocking about with people who are buying weapons from the Ukrainian government. Okay, all right. Maybe that's just normal. I don't know. Let's see what else he's got to say about it. And this isn't the first time he's talked about this, and I'll show you that in a minute. Let's just see where he goes here.
These are facts. They've run up in the hands of, among others, the Mexican drug cartels, the Taliban,
wow.
Hamas in Gaza. Fact. And a lot of other groups. And it's incredibly destabilizing, by the way. The United States did this years ago in Afghanistan, as you know, and sent a bunch of Stinger missiles to the Mujahideen in 1979 and 80 to fight the Soviets. And those missiles caused huge problems for all of Southwest Asia for like 20 years.
Exactly. Let's have a look. Tucker was talking just a month or so ago to Colonel Daniel Davis. Let's have a look at that clip. Here we go.
You know, last weekend I had a meeting at, in a ski resort in the Alps, which is probably the most expensive town in the world. I was not there to ski, for the record. But the whole town is Ukrainian.
What were you there for? Point is, the whole town was Ukrainian. And this is the same. I was in Phuket just recently, and the Ukrainian and Russian invasion is palpable. suddenly there's a lot of people who've come into a lot of money for reasons we can only guess, and they're taking over places like this most expensive town in the world. You know, they've got immense amounts of money. They can't put it in banks. They can't invest it. It's Ukrainian millions. You know, Bruce's millions. It needs to be spent.
You know, all the visitors are Ukrainian, and they're rolling into Air Maze and dropping $1 million in an afternoon. Okay, so it's all through Europe. You see this. The richest people are the Ukrainians. That money.
And this is Tucker talking to Colonel Daniel Davis, who doesn't disagree with it.
Is ours. It belongs to me and you and every other American taxpayer. That's where it's going. Second fact, not guess. Fact is the Ukrainian military is selling a huge percentage, up to half of the arms that we send them. Half. And I'm not guessing about this. I know that for a fact.
I mean, you know, even if it's a quarter, even if it was a fifth, none of these weapons should be ending up on the black market. But again, who's surprised? Who's surprised? And if Tucker knows, and if I know, and if you know, as if the CIA don't know, and if the CIA know, would it be weird to suggest, perhaps based on what history tells us, that they might have their hand involved somehow?
Fact, okay, not speculation. And they're selling it, and a lot of us winding up with the drug cartels on our border. So this is a crime. What's happening? Our intel agencies are fully aware of this. You tell me they're not profiting from this. Of course, you think CIA is not profiting from this? Yes, they are. I can't prove that, but I believe.
What an absolute mess. Let's assume they are. And you've got to struggle. You know, looking at history, it's a struggle for me to think anyone at the CIA is like, oh, no way, what, that's happened? It's such, the deep state is a slush fund. It's just, again, like most things governmental, it's about putting public money into private pockets, whatever way possible. And if that means exploiting a war in Europe, yeah, crack on. I expect Nicolas Cage to turn up. This is Lord of War stuff.
Believe that. What they don't know this. I know this, but they don't know this. They know this. And no one is saying it. Like, no American seems aware of this. We're sending these arms to Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's being stolen and sold to our actual enemies. Like, what the? Try not to swear. What is this?
What is this? Exactly. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll find out about the live streams, and I fully intend to do one tonight. Look after yourselves, people. Take care.